Market analytics enables the analysis of market trends, property valuation, information such as the number of properties for sale at a given time, the average time on the market, all segmented by price, location, typology, and more. It's so simple to create market reports which get instantly sent to your registered email address in spreadsheet, PDF formats, and we're going to break down the market analytics into 4 distinct parts: the heat map, price distribution, time series, and valuation sections. So let's start on the heat map page. With one click, we're able to see the information from our chosen country, Portugal. We have it here on a map, and we also have the locations displayed in a table, so we can easily see that Lisbon is the most expensive location, followed by Faro, Porto, and going on down the list. Now, what we're able to see here instantly by clicking on a location, I can click here on Lisbon, and I'll be taken down to that next hyperlocal level. So you can see here, this is the Lisbon district. If I want to see the Concelho, I click here, and then I'm taken down and we can see some regions that I'm sure are very familiar. Avenidas Novas, Santo Antonio, Porto de Sessões, etc. Now, within this area, I can also change the filters, change the date range that I'm looking at, and change the type of data point that I'm looking at. So if I click here, we have average asking price per square meter. I can click it, and you see now I have these areas all again arranged in the order most expensive to least expensive. So we can see here that Santo Antonio is the most expensive area in Lisbon at this moment in time, and we can choose to include outliers or not. Now, the reason why outliers are interesting is because they can have very extreme values, and sometimes these are true and sometimes these really are just mistakes within advertising. Now, if I go along here and take off the outliers again, then I can see through apartments, houses, plots, the different type of investment properties, and other things that don't quite fit into any of these categories. We're going to stay with apartments for now. So I click that, click save. You can see here for sale or for rent. If I click rent, save, and you can see here the price per square meter for the rental properties. We can move it to the average asking price. And here you can see the different asking prices within Lisbon. Now, what's interesting here is we're very quickly able to compare the rental prices with the sale prices for an area. So if I go here, back up to rent, put it onto sale again, click save, I can see that Campolide is the 14th most expensive area in Lisbon. If I go by asking price per square meter, you can see it here again. And you can see that the difference between the asking price per square meter between, say, Santo Antonio and Campolide is 3,908 to 5,637, so a little over 1,700 per square meter. Now if I go on the asking price per rent here, then I can see that the asking price per rent for Santo Antonio is only €4 per square meter higher than Campolide. So this is roughly 20 to 25% higher. Now, the interesting thing here is if we go back to our average asking price and then go on sale and then go on square meter, we can see that the difference between Campolide and Santo Antonio is 50% higher than Campolide, yet the rental price is only 25% higher. This clearly shows us that if we look from an investment point of view, that Campolide is a much more attractive destination for investment, for a yield investment. And this is the power of market analytics. This is what allows us to instantly see which localities, or which freguesia, or which zona are the best locations to invest in within the Lisbon area. And this methodology can be applied to any area that we analyze within market analytics. And this is something that can only be done within the CASAFARI platform because we are the only people who have access to this information. Okay, so this is the price distribution area of the market analytics, and you can see very clearly that we have a number of graphs which show us different pieces of information. In this piece of this table, we have the graph that shows us the number of properties per price segment. Now, what this means is that within, say, the 400 to 500,000 euro price segment, there are 974 properties available in the Lisbon metro area. If we scroll down, we're able to see the price per square meter for each property, separated into quartiles. And if we adjust with these sliders here, we're able to zoom in on specific price points. So perhaps we're only interested in properties within sort of 5,000 or 2,000 per square meter. We go here, and here we can go along if we want to see anything up to about 500,000 euros. So this very clearly shows us how property prices are distributed per square meter within this particular price segment, which is especially important when comparing properties that are within the same segment, as you want to see which one's the best deal for your particular budget. If we scroll down here, we're able to see how long different segments of properties stay on the market, and we can see the clear trend here that the more expensive a property is, the longer it's going to take to be on the market. Going down, we see that we're getting under 4 to 3 months for the cheaper properties and over 6 months for the more expensive properties, especially once we go up here to the 1 million plus bracket. Now we can do this analysis on a hyperlocal location. So if I simply click here, then I can see different locations, or I can go up here and I can just type Campo-Lead as before, and we're taken directly to this area. And you can see CASAFARI is mapping all of the properties to their appropriate location on this map of Campo-Lead. And we can see here again the same tables and graphs, all clearly laid out, very easy to understand. And we can see here that the average is about 3,800 per square meter. And we can see that properties in this location actually move reasonably fast as well, going down to the 4 months and going up to around just over 9 months in the very premium price segment for this area. So here we have the time series section. We have 6 unique graphs which are all really useful when conducting market analysis. The first one we have is perhaps one of the most familiar, which is the average asking price. And we can see even over this period of 3 months, we have an asking price that is climbing slightly. If we go down, we're able to see the asking price per square meter, again reflecting that trend of a slight increase over the time period, small dip, and then back to the increase here again. Now, prices up or down is an interesting idea here. So we actually look on the property by property level, which properties have a price increase and which have a price decrease. Now we're seeing again, we're following these trends along the graph, and we see that properties are being decreased in price over time, with some being increased. Of course, it's more common for a property to be decreased in value as it stays on the market for longer time. New unique properties. So this is every single new property that comes to the market. As I'm sure you know, there are many listings of the same property in the market. Now, what CASAFARI does is we match together these listings of the properties into one unique property page. This is reflecting these property pages throughout the time period that we've selected of the previous 3 months until today. We can see here that properties are coming in on a 2 weekly, 1 weekly basis of around 6 to 7 a week. And it's very easy to see with this graphic. Sold and delisted properties. These are properties that have been removed from the market, either sold or have been taken off the market. We can see here that this number remains roughly averaging at about 5 over this time period. And we have new non-deduplicated listings. This is simply giving some transparency into the fact that listings are matched together, but also we want to see how hot a market is from a listing perspective as well. And you can see that all here very clearly. Again, what's great about here is that you can always customize and choose a more specific type of property. So perhaps I want to see only properties with 1 bedroom. I can click save, and I'll be shown that exact information here. Very simple to use, very accurate, and incredibly informative is the most important thing.